for joining BSN Live with Ben and Maddie. Join us weekdays live, 7:30 a.m. on our Facebook and YouTube channels. Stay tuned for the episode right now.
So today's Marketing Monday. We're going to start talking about marketing, just marketing. You sent me this morning some notes. Let me go on my phone real quick, and we're going to talk about the top three, I think, because you sent me the top marketing tips for 2020, and there was 10 of them.
Yeah, I put together a list of 10. I went across a few different websites and took some ideas. I do that a lot. So just a little hack, if you're stuck on things and you're looking to create some information, GTS, Google that shit. Okay.
So,
that's what I did. And I created a top 10 list of marketing tips for 2020 that I'm going to implement. And I hope that you do too.
So number one was look for opportunities to diversify. That's smart, man. That's kind of the way, right? We have to not just, that's actually the opportunities to diversify is very broad. It
really is. And the reason that went to the top of the list is right now with the event that we have, you see people that are just out of work. They had one stream of income and now that's gone, whether they're an employee, a business owner, solopreneur, side hustle, whatever, it's gone now. So, and that was huge for me. I'm a real estate agent. Yes, I do some construction projects and do some things on the side, but those are the things that have enabled me to make it through the times where real estate has gotten tough for me. Along with my wife having her full-time position, I've been able to reach into my construction community, do projects with them, project management, estimating, whatever. So I really thought this was right on point, especially with today's day and age. If you are out there, if you're out of work and you have your one source of income, figure out a way to get a second one, whatever that looks like for you.
I totally agree with that. I mean, I have my main job also too, but I also have other business, I would say affiliate marketing and network marketing. And I do those businesses too. And what are those, right? Those are like, for example, let's say there's a program or an app that you really, really enjoy. For example, phone sites. I love phone sites. You love phone sites. I use phone sites.
I'm promoting it myself.
Yeah. If someone asks me questions, I don't really push it all the time, but I think that product is so, when people do ask me about phone sites, I tell them, hey, look, there's so much training behind phone sites that will give you a lot of information. It's so easy to use. That you can actually, if someone buys it from you, you can make a commission off of it in your continuous commission. So there's affiliate selling, affiliate marketing, whatever you want to call it. So definitely find out if the products and brands that you're using offer a affiliate membership, right?
Yeah.
So and it's kind of like Sam's Club or Costco. I don't know if I say, hey, can you hook, it's like that cable, the cable one, right? It's a good example, right?
Totally.
Like your cable for free or they'll give you $50 gift cards or whatever just for referring a friend. Same concept. So check out those companies. Make sure that you take advantage of those because a friend referral is a very dominant. Another one is home MLM, or you want to call it network marketing, whatever you want. People have some people have a bad taste of it, but it's not. Once you know how to use it, once you know how to market it, you can actually make a little income on the side, make some income on the side. As you grow the business, you will grow. It's about what's comfortable for you and works for you. And me and Matt are always talking about other opportunities also too. What's out there, businesses, how to use it. We were talking about Shopify. So you definitely have to research and keep on researching until you find something that works for you and say, okay, I'll try that. If it doesn't work, okay, it's not a big deal. You move on to the next, right?
So thank you, Ben. You also talked about drop shipping, Shopify, all those things. We have a couple people in the group that are doing Shopify, and I want to invite them in. I'd like to talk to you more about that. And Ben and I had talked back in the day. One of my greatest regrets is not keeping up with a couple of my stores, ultimateplyometrics.com and rashguardpros.com. I wish I'd have kept those up back in 2011, but I didn't invest the time. I went back into construction and just kind of let it go. Who knows 9 years later where I could have built it to, but again, one of my regrets. So diversify. Do not rely on a single form of income to sustain your family. As we found, it's just not going to work.
Yeah. Right now, over the weekend, I haven't used it for a while, but Facebook Marketplace is a very, very strong tool in your Facebook. One of the things I do see people is they burn it when they're trying to use their business. It's not used. You have to be a little bit smarter. So research Marketplace first. But I see people. The Gary Vee is very like popular with this, right?
Oh, very much. Looking stuff all
buying stuff all the time.
Yeah. Number two, we're talking about embracing paid social media. Okay, social media is all free. They do that for a reason to suck us all in. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest. All of these platforms are amazing distribution channels. Okay, so that was one of the big mind shifts that my mentor in one of my groups has really been digging into us, is that all of these are distribution channels. Figure you have a big remote control and you get to push a button, it goes to Facebook, and actually it's not even something we got to imagine anymore. And then you got your Facebook channel, your YouTube, your Instagram, or whatever. Each one of those has a way for you to advertise to your clients. So we're going to go deep, and I'm not going to go into the weeds on this.
You're absolutely right. The paid advertising, and remember, it's your advertising. There's a difference between advertising and marketing. And advertising is when you're paying somebody to get more exposure.
Outstanding, yes.
And marketing is what the content that you're using. So there's so much work. Advertising has its own little world of stuff that you need to learn, which is the learning, understanding how the Facebook manager, business manager works, researching that. And then now you're working on your marketing, right? The marketing is your content, the stuff that you're seeing. Like Matt is a pro. I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you're thinking about creating a brand, Facebook branding, I want to talk to you before this. Talk to Matt. We're putting together a formula for you guys. We're actually talk to us. We're putting together a formula. And if you like, we just put the new logo up for the group, right? That looks amazing. That's the marketing, right? The picture, how it looks. And then the advertising is out there. There's organic and there's paid. And the organic is us coming out every single time, reaching out to you guys as many as we can. That's personal communication with you guys. But the paid advertising is very powerful. And it's going to give you more exposure. It gives us more exposure. It'll give you more exposure to people who have never seen you before. And that's what you want. You want exposure to somebody else in a different zip code to see you in a different state. But that's a whole conversation.
Rabbit hole we're not going to go down today. Number three, and I just lost my messages. Give me a minute. I'm cheating here.
It just blanked. I just went up.
Number three is focusing on your existing content. This one is huge for me. Anybody that's been around me for any short period of time knows I'm walking around taking pictures and video of everything. I have tons of content, and I just kind of waste it. We just did a video on Friday. It was our open mic Friday on the BSN show. It was on the YouTube channel, okay? What I did was on that YouTube channel, I broke the description down and I did timestamps for every different part of the conversation. And if you go to our YouTube channel and you look at our open mic, look at the description. It's got probably about 30 entries in there of different snippets of that conversation that can all be repurposed for other things. Okay, we talked about starting a business, starting without a list, having no friends, no support. I mean, we talk about so many variety of things that hour-long conversation could be repurposed for hundreds of pieces of content.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
I'm not doing it yet.
No. The thing is though, and I always tell you guys, and the things I'm showing you guys or we're teaching you guys are duplicatable, meaning that these are things that if we're doing it, you can do it. There's no like fancy program out there. It's very simple. These are simple ideas, and you just have to go out there and take take an action step to do it. When we talk about focusing on your existing content, here's the thing. When you create a post, you have to look at it and see, you have to test it in different areas. You have to see if it works in your personal group, if it works in a Facebook group, if it works in an Instagram, and see where it's working really, really well, and where you're getting the most interaction with it, right? And that we call that weight, meaning how many people are liking that post, commenting that post, and sharing on that post, right? It means it's a good post. And here's the thing. You can recycle those posts a year from now. You can re-update those. I go back to my memories. I always go to Facebook memories, and I always tell you this, and I'll see things that I posted last year or the year before, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I posted that. And I look at, I'm like, I'll delete that, because I'm like, I can't believe it was a horrible, I was still learning. It's okay. But sometimes you see a post that got a lot of engagement. You can go back and re-update that, use it, repost it, re-update the story. That's one of the things that you keep on practicing and practicing and practicing.
Thank you or when you're here watching, thank you very much.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. Today is Tuesday, and we're having our tools, texts, and apps from our mobile phones. And you know what? That's not a bad way to do our Tuesdays, because we're generally talking about apps, and our apps are mobile. And what better way to showcase what we're doing than maybe on our phone? I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there, Ben, as we're sitting here thinking about it and doing it.
Absolutely. One of the things we've been telling you guys and telling everybody is that there, you have to go out and test things out, right? We were testing the Zoom, we're testing out the Facebook guest feature. So this was a great backup, because we were working the Zoom, right? We had a technical difficulty. For some reason, Zoom wasn't working. It wasn't working on Matt's. And I said, let's go to plan B. Boom. And we went into the guest live feature, and we've been practicing this. So as you can tell, we logged on, we figured it out. So this is why you have to practice these new technologies and go out there and make it a habit of when there's something new out there, play with it a little bit, right? Because now, so let's it's tools, texts, and apps Tuesday. Let's talk about tools, texts, and apps. Man, there's it's so much, man. We can it's so broad, right? Like we were just, every time you and I have a discussion about this, we're like, there's just a lot of information out there. But you wanted to talk about like the offers, right? Like offers for like apps. And yeah, because when you're starting to become an entrepreneur, when you're out there signing up for stuff, trying to test new things out, you're going to get offers.
You're going to get a ton of offers right into your email box generally, or now they're getting real slick and going right to text, because that has such a super high open ratio. But all these online marketers are using different tools. Maybe using a tool for images or video editing or keyword research or whatever you need in your business. I know I need a variety of all of them. So at one point years ago, and I can't remember when it was, is I signed up for one of these kind of tools. And I let's just call it a funnel building software, because I don't remember exactly what it was, but that's one of the ones that I do have. And so I bought it. And then after that, from that same developer or promoter, I would start to see more offers and more offers. So I'd start looking at different products, and some of them, maybe I look a little further. Some of them I dismiss right away, but others, and a few of them I did purchase. You get this a program that's thrown in front of you, and they're doing a great job of marketing it, saying it's going to solve every problem in the world for you in this little category, and you go and you buy it. A lot of them, just didn't pan out as much as I would like. Either it just wasn't as functional, or it was just hard to get to, or maybe it was just too much energy or effort to figure it out. You know what I mean? So I just abandoned ship on a lot of them. But I got to be honest, when I take those gambles, a lot of them paid off, and paid off huge. I remember buying a software in particular. It was a video marketing blaster. I still think they're around quite a bit. And that one's been huge for me, and I paid for it. It was a one-time fee. There's another one we were talking about yesterday, is a video software or an image software. I went back to, because I wanted to tell the group about it. And I'm like, man, I bought this software. It was maybe $50. Hey, buy it here. So I went to check out the pricing, and now it's $25 a month. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say is, when you sign up, these are sales funnels. The sales funnels get you in, and they opt you into the subscription, right? The free trial is the sales funnel. I mean, and then they're getting the information. They're going to try to contact you and email you. A good example is Netflix. We canceled Netflix. We don't have Netflix anymore. I don't know, we were paying like $15 a month or something crazy like that. It's not the point. We just don't watch enough TV. We don't care for it. And what happened is we canceled it. Then 2 months later, we got a deal. They said, come back for like $8.99 for like the same. And I was just kind of like, what? This is crazy. But the thing is, though, they're always going to try to give you offers to buy their product. So it's okay. Go ahead and sign up for those. If you have a different email or, you know, a spam email, whatever, go ahead and test those out and double check those emails. And if it's a product that's out there, sometimes you can even contact the company and ask them directly if they have any offers or deals, and they may give you a deal. I've bought a couple programs and a couple things for lifetime membersprips just because I love, yeah, and I pay one time, and there's no longer, it's a couple, you know, it costed some money, but I know I'm going to use this price. I have like a personal coaching program where where I'm always getting information where they're updating me with, especially with home business or sales or marketing. Once in a while, I just drop in and I watch, and I'm like, these are like refreshers for me. And this is kind of like we're doing for you guys. We're not charging you guys. We're doing this because because we're learning this, and I truly believe in when you teach something, you show something, you learn it, and it becomes ingrained. So this is why we're out here doing this every single day for you guys, because we're absorbing that information and we're going through the frustrations just like we went through this morning. And usually, Matt, you're always a little bit more frustrated, but you're like 100% cool this morning, right?
You know what? It's funny that you say that. I felt that as we were going through this, because I do get flustered. I'm like, because I want that perfection, and I hold myself to being there on time. I like consistency.
Sure.
And when that doesn't happen, you see me, man. I'm like, and I'm my own worst enemy or critic on those things. But I think I'm learning lately. I'm always trying to stretch myself, and I've really done a good job. So thank you. I appreciate that.
No, I noticed it this morning. Okay, so guys, let's let you guys know. When we start these lives, if Matt, we're at 7:30 or there's technical difficulties and I'm watching him, he's like, oh, this isn't working. Why isn't this working? And it's okay. I understand there
might be an F-bomb or two in there.
Yeah. And we've all been there, right? We're on our desktop and we're like going to go crazy. We're like, man, and we just said, okay, let's go to plan B. If this doesn't work, do the hard reboot. Let's do the reboot. He went through, we went through the trials, boom, we went to plan B, and here we are right now with the live with you guys. And that's why it was very important. I said, you have to work this Facebook live feature with the guest. And I've noticed it's very, very powerful. And also, again, we push you guys to do live videos, but we understand that doing your live videos by yourself is challenging too. But now you have someone you can do a live video with. If it's Matt, myself, or someone you want to do it with in the BSN or whatever, we're here to help you guys out and support you. We'll have a conversation with you, engage with us, and we'll be happy to engage with you. But we're here. This is a new format, so that's great. And there's going to be lots of new stuff that's coming out, and you have to go out there and test those things. Go ahead, Matt.
No, absolutely right. The more advancements that come, that's one of the things. I'll just piggyback a little bit off that. As I was going through some of these tools that I was going to mention today, and I'll talk about them at the very end. I mean, what they were, but it was when you get into something, you may start pigeonholing and just looking at the one solution, but that program or that software, that application has 50 other things that you never paid attention to. So what I did was I bought this software, I got to say at least a year ago, and I was doing one small part. But as I was working with it yesterday, I was like, wow, it does this, it does that, it does these things. So now I'm able to, exponentially use that software without having to now spend additional money or find another solution. So use your tools. Take a few minutes when you go into something. That's one advice I need to give myself. Take a day, go through the tutorials, make sure you understand things, because tools, that is your weapon. That's like a carpenter going out with a hammer without a head on it. He's not going to bang in any nails or anything. You need to know structurally everything that's happening. So, bit of advice for myself. I'm going to pass that along to you.
Yeah, and here's our testimony, guys. We're gonna like let you guys know the group logos have changed, right? We're updating and this is from stuff that you've been using, your tools, and these are this is what we're working on branding. So we're branding ourselves. We're coming out here saying hello, showing our faces, but now we're branding BSN, or Buy Sell Network, or Business Sales and Networking, excuse me. And we have the new logo, and these are all tools that Maddie is using to brand. So it's very, very powerful. That logo is man, when he put it out there, I was like, wow, that's so powerful, right? And we're going to continue on updating. So man, here we go. We'll talk about this more later about the group branding, because I get so excited when we talk about like we're going to put our notes together. And because we have people a lot ask questions, how do you guys build the groups? How do you create this culture? And we're like, we'll talk about that, but we're going to share that later. But man, I just want to
And I was on that podcast yesterday, talking about specifically for real estate agents. And this is an agent that is known nationally. He was on a national platform, speaking in front of agents all over the country last year. And I was on his podcast talking about Facebook groups and how powerful they are. So what I've known and what I've learned from Ben and implemented is a direct result. I mean, everything I've done is a direct result of everything I've learned.
Yeah. And I always tell people the groups is a tool. It's a tool. It's not your life. It's just like another way to meet new people. It's another way to engage with new people, to go out there and test your content, see if it works or doesn't work. Because what's going to happen is your Facebook friends, your whatever you have, you're going to get some engagement. But when you go out there and
test the waters,
and test the waters, right? You got to go out there and meet new people. I've been told, like, I've had negative stuff hit me all the time, tons of it, right? But when you get positive results, like when I meet someone like Matt, right? This is a good example. I meet someone like Matt. I say, hey, Matt, how's it going? Thanks for joining the group. I engage with them. Hey, this is what you can do in the group. And then we connect. And this is where we're at right now. And if you would have asked me 6 months from now, if I would have been here doing lives every morning, I couldn't tell you that, because this is the whole point is networking, meeting new people and growing. You need this. Annette, we have Annette in the group. We have Gustavo. We have Heidi. These are all people that have joined us in our BSN, and we're growing with them, and they're helping us grow. And I know they're growing by watching us too. We're inspiring them, and they're inspiring us. And that's the whole idea of the group. It's a tool. And this is what I tell people. And I'm learning how to calibrate my thoughts process a little bit better. And it's networking. When we talk about networking, it's about having a group of people joining you with your journey, and they're going to be happy to join your journey, and you're going to be happy to join their journey, and you're all surrounded together. And this is where the support. This is where you're going to get your drive, right? Matt's my drive, man. When I wake up in the morning, I see him. He's out there, and you see all the great stuff that's happening to him. Man, I'm like, that motivates me more when you see other people being successful. I don't know. Some people don't live that life. They don't think that way. But when I see someone doing great things, it makes me want to do it more and more and more.
Totally. And I've always tried to be that way as well. I try to be a congratulator and not a hater. You know what I mean? When I see things happening, whether it's an agent in my office that just smashed a great listing, that just killed it for their client, you know what I mean? Or whatever the situation is. I like to be that one that celebrates things. I'm out on the baseball field with my son, and I'm the loudest cheerleader out there, man. And I don't care if it's a good play, bad play, whatever. I'm always cheering, because you know what? If you're not winning, you're learning. And no matter what, you need somebody behind you to rally behind you, because you know what? We don't have that in the business world. It doesn't happen, where people are just, no questions asked, just like, hey, man, good job, go for it. And never know what that's going to do to that person. That person may have needed just that edge just to keep going. Actually, somebody posted, I think it was Lorraine, posted something this morning that really helped my head out a little bit. You never know how that's going to affect somebody. Just give a smile away. Congratulate instead of hating, Exactly. And that's what I always appreciated about you. Everything that was always positive as well. And that really was in alignment with what I was doing. You know what I mean? And people that are naturally aligned are just going to gravitate.
Absolutely.
Gustavo, I can see him now on my screen here. He's watching. Sorry, everybody, I don't know who's watching, but I saw Gustavo's name go by. So, I mean, same thing. That gravitates. I know you said it. It's all that circled.
Yeah, absolutely. And those are the tools you need. Your spear is your tool. It's an important tool. Let's go back to a couple. Let's go a couple apps. Any app recommendations? Because we know this. We're gonna.
That's what I wanted to recommend one because Ben was talking about this earlier, was branding. That's something that we're working on over all the groups and the buy sell network, changing that to the business sales and networking. So I had this app called Relay That, relaythat.com.io. I'm not sure. Just look up Relay app or Relay That app and it'll come up. And what it is, it's a branding tool. I really, really like it. I used it a little bit in the past, but I really didn't kind of get into it like I was yesterday. But it's basically in your brand, you're going to have certain colors, you're going to have a logo, you're going to have certain static things that are always going to be included on your brand. This program, it gave me, I bought only the license for 5 profiles. So I have 5 different profiles, 5 different brands that I can run across and have as different entities. Like I have one for buyers, and that way they have different colors and a different layout scheme. But my logo's on there, my license information is on there, the layout is on there. So that way, when I have that for a buyer and I need to send it to Pinterest or LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook, there's a different setting for each of those, and it takes that picture and automatically creates it to be the most optimized image for that platform. So that's huge. So think about this. You're trying to brand across all platforms, right? And I know it's mind-blowing to try and stay in front of all these platforms. How easy now is it to create one image or one basic image, and now you can click on the Twitter tab or the YouTube ad and create a thumbnail, or the Facebook ad and it creates the perfect square, or the Instagram where it gives you the size of the Instagram. You can also do it for Google Ads. It'll create you a little banner. So now, and then you save that. So now on your next marketing message, you now only edit your message, but your base principles of your brand are still there. Your logo, your colors, and for me, it's my license information. So if I was to recommend anything today, it's going to be that app. I think that one was amazing. I really didn't.
That's new to me, guys. Like I said, that's new to me. I'm Googling it right now as you're talking about it, and I'm like, wow, that's.
I do see, Gustavo, my mouse, it's hard for me to see. I think it's IFTT app. IFTTT, excuse me, I left a T off there. That means if this, then that. That is a phenomenal app as well. It's very similar to like a Zapier, but a little bit more simplistic. I really like it. A lot of apps make it simple to, like a Google Sheet, right to your Gmail is how I use it. Gustavo, tell me your best use case for your IFTTT. And you said what, Canva? Canva is the other one. Canva's a great app. Canva's a great app for images. They have a professional version. I have not experienced the professional version because I bought something, you know me, I bought another tool years ago that I use that's got an unlimited license, so I use that one. But Canva I use for, before I started using that out, then I was using, oh my God, that thing just, I just got a call and it just changed my mindset a little bit.
It's okay.
But the Canva I was using for my YouTube thumbnails, because the thing I loved about Canva is you can type in what you're looking to do, whether you're looking for a YouTube banner, a YouTube channel art, or Facebook, and it's already going to lay out your page for that that size. So that was really, really cool. That I loved about Canva. The app that I was talking about, Gustavo, was Relay That, RELAY That, THAT. I'll go ahead and shoot a link over to you. I think it's $25 a month at this point. I'll do that.
Post it in the chat. Yeah, post it in the chat so anyone out there watches that can definitely click on it and get more information.
Anyway, today is our WTF Wednesday. Today we're talking about things that we may have gone down the wrong road, made a bad decision. Maybe in my case, something I was going to discuss was maybe I didn't wasn't open to other things and just kind of focused in on what people were telling me and didn't take into account some other things because I thought I was going down the right path. Thank you, Tyson. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. Ben, anything that was on your mind for our WTF Wednesday?
These kind of when we do these videos, the what the f, it's like it's hard for me to go to sleep at night because I start thinking about the things that I go, man, I should have never done that, right? Like, and your head starts to spin, and you start to just get in that snowball effect in your brain where you start to think about problems, and you're like, I wish you couldn't do that, and you get in these regretful moments. You're like little shockers. But I think one of the things that hopefully we can speak to a younger audience if someone's watching this is time wasting, right? Wasting time. And personally, like I wasted a lot of time with a lot of my ego. I'll tell you that right now.
Wow.
There's a point where when I'm killing it, when I was killing it in sales, you're in the top, and I've always kind of been at a certain level in sales in the top. I've always achieved that with hard work, of course. But here's the thing. I never really went out and searched for mentorship. I never really searched. I had the ego not to ask people for help. We were just talking about this.
It's so funny how we're in alignment on that, but please go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't go out and do that. And there's so much information out there. And yes, I did read the books like Napoleon Hill, or I did read, but that's a lot different. Reading books and then doing it. But when it comes to people out there that want to be someone that's gonna like help you and guide you. And I was offered that many times, and because people said, "Oh, you know what?" And that's what through like managers or people said, "Hey, you know what? Can I have a conversation with you?" And I would just go one out the ear and out the other. I really didn't care what these people had to say to me, but I wish I would have gone back and spent more time with these people.
Let me ask you, when you say you didn't really listen to them, is that because, in your opinion, they didn't provide that value? They didn't have that status to be able to tell you those things, or was it your ego just like, hey, I don't need you, I can do this on my own? Curious.
No, I think we get caught up. I think what happens is there's a point where you get caught up in you get self-absorbed, right? Because what happens is, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is like me. I'll be honest. You're young. I was in great shape. You're looking good. You've got nice clothes. You got a nice car. Things are happening for you, and that attracts a certain level of distraction. You get distracted, right? If it's like going out at night, going out with your friends, having a good time, go ahead and do those. Go ahead and do those things, though. But when it comes to really thinking about the future, thinking about 10 years from now, because now there's a difference between 35 and 45. There's a difference between 25 and 35.
Totally.
I'm going to be 42. And at 38 even was very different, right? 38 was like a different mindset. Now I'm 42. I'm like, man, like you start to think about at 35, I wish I would have done this. So right now, right, you're like, man, that wasn't even that long ago.
Right, totally.
It really wasn't that long ago. But start really searching for people out there that are gonna, if it doesn't have to be business, it could be life experience, coach, someone, and really, if someone has a lot of value that's telling you information, have a conversation with that person. Say, hey, let's have a talk for an hour. Here we go. I didn't have those talks where we sat down like you and I have a cup of coffee.
Right.
And literally just have a conversation, right? Like let's have a talk, and really opening up to somebody and saying, hey, okay, great. And maybe they'll give you some crazy advice or whatever, but it's going to make you grow and really learn how to talk to people and being a little bit vulnerable and telling them this is my path, this is what I want to do, and really talking to people. And I didn't do that, and I wish I would have done that at 25, right? 35. I think my communication would have been a whole different. My
mindset,
direction, my mindset, my direction. I would have known my path a little bit better versus like getting shoulder, it's like shoulder bumping all the time, always shoulder bumping, right? You're hitting, or you're a lot of like bumper cars. You're always bumping into things. Eventually, you'll figure your path. Don't get me wrong. You're going to figure it out, but it's going to be, you're going to go through a lot of bumps on the road.
And I think, and that's really why we do this every day. We decided to do this a few weeks ago because that was the exact conversation. I didn't have, let me back that up a little bit. There were people I followed that I shouldn't have followed. There were people that I saw out there that I not that I envied, but I saw what they were doing, and I was just so curious about it, but I never approached them. So we wanted to be the guys that we wish we had when I was 15 years ago driving across Southern California hustling freaking concrete stuff. You know what I mean? And figuring that out even today, or when I went into my internet marketing back in 2010, when I first started that in SEO, I wish somebody had pushed the gas pedal on me and said, hey, Matthew, this is the direction, and keep going in consistency. Because, I hit a little road bump there and I got bumped off the track and never went back. So that's what this is all about. And you're so on point, man. Find that person for you. Don't regret 10 years later that you saw that person and you watched them, and that you made a different decision, or maybe you didn't act at all. I always believe in action over inaction, 100%. I would rather do something than nothing. That is just my personality. Some people are the opposite, where they'd rather move away, where I always move forward.
Yeah. A story, and here's the thing: if you're in sales, if you're in retail, it doesn't really matter. If you're out there in the car lot, find the people with the most experience that have been there for a while. Find that information. Try to be friends with these people. One of the secrets that I figured out a long time ago is be friends with the top salespeople. Make that communication, make that conversation with them, build alliances with them. This has really helped me. I made great relationships with the top salespeople, and sometimes they can't handle their business. They have so much going on because they're the top people, because they're the ones that they're going to say, hey, you know what? And this has happened to me. Hey, Ben, can you take this conversation? This client for me. I'm going to be going on vacation. Can you take over? And they're going to trust.
And that's how you grow.
Exactly. That's how you grow. They trust you. And because you're following them, you're asking them for advice. What would I do? What can you do? They appreciate that, man. Trust me. People, we call them the old dogs, the old dogs, right? They've been around. They're the ones with like so much experience. They know they've been in those fights. They've had fights with managers, salespeople. They've been around. They're the ones that are the quiet ones. They just kind of don't want to be bothered. But those are the ones that are making the numbers, that are continuously on because they're worried about they need to make that paycheck, right?
Absolutely, they're used to that lifestyle. Yeah,
they're used to that lifestyle. And here's the thing where I've seen, and I'm kind of in the middle of the road, where I'm seeing the new ones, the new kids that are coming up. Right? It's a whole different generation.
Sorry, I did not mean to.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. You jump in.
No, I'm sorry. As you were saying that, I'm thinking, and I don't remember which motivational person it was, whether it was Gary Vee or one of the others, but it was, you're looking for that mentorship instead of asking for their time. Hey, can I get some of your time? Provide something to them. Yeah. Backdoor it a little bit. If you see somebody, let's call it, maybe you're selling hair braids, right? Or hair extensions, and you see somebody that's got, 100,000 followers, and she's doing the same thing. And I'm sorry, it's a she, it could be a he, whatever, and they're out there selling their product and their hair extensions. See what they're doing, kind of investigate a little, because that's the path that you're going, right? That's where you're eventually wanting to go, and kind of see what they need. See if they, maybe they have a logo and you have a little bit of skill with some logo design or a logo animation, and you just kind of take a little bit of time. You do a little bit of homework, and you send this to them. Go, hey, I saw you out there. You're really inspiring to me. I just wanted to go ahead and give you this because I just wanted to give you back because you've given me so much value. Sure. Tyson's agreeing with me totally. Give value to receive value, 100%, because these people don't have time for you. Let's be honest with you. You are nothing to them in their world. That doesn't mean that you're nothing. Please don't take it in a bad way, but in their focus of their attention and their time, you have not earned a status to get that attention. Sure. So if you can earn that by giving them something, or alleviating some stress. Like Ben is saying, he's got these top dogs out there that are overwhelmed. Hey man, let me take these clients for you. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this so I can help you out, because that law of reciprocity, number one, you're going to show your tenacity. Number two, you're going to show your dedication. And number three, you're going to show your follow through, because you're going to get that shit done. You know what I mean? And that is what's going to earn your reputation. And that sweat equity, as Tyson is saying in the comments, is going to be more more valuable than anything to you that you could ever provide. Okay? Those things are more important to alleviate a stress out of somebody's life, and you will backdoor and you will make that relationship so easy to get into.
Yeah, I totally agree. And here's the thing. When people ask, when I give a referral out, when I give people business, for example, like in sales, or and I have a client, and let's say I'm going on vacation, I'm only going to give those referrals to the people that I know they're going to give the best service.
100%.
Because they're representing me. If I have a client that says, "Hey Ben, I need this," or whatever, and I say, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to be on vacation. I'm going to be gone for a couple of days, but I'll have whomever will contact you. I'll give them." I know that person's going to call them. They're going to follow through. They're going to ask. You know, you're going to give them the. They're not going to try to like hit. You know, just trying to. You know, they're going to give them a great experience, and because I will follow up back with them when I'm done. When I get back, I just want to make sure. Hey, did so and so get in contact you? Did everything okay? And usually I like to hear, yeah, everything was great. So-and-so was awesome. Thank you so much. Hope you had a great vacation. And now we're still connected. They're like asking me like, hey, is everything great? I said, yeah, thank you. And now great. And I'll thank that person for giving that person great service. And man, it's amazing when you thank the person that you gave business to, that gave them great service. Now that person is like, oh, like, wow, Ben, like, or so-and-so, wow, like, now you just put more water in the cup you're filling up, or you're more coin in the bank, right? With that relationship. Go ahead, Matt.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
No. I'm just that just comes from experience, guys. You got to keep on doing it. I'm sure Matt would appreciate that too. If something happened, Matt and Matt couldn't handle a client, and we'll go forward on that, man. But there's a lot. We get the whole.
Well, and it's really building that, you know, Tyson, I'm looking at your comments still that you made a moment ago, sweat equity to earn trust. And that's really what it's about. If you're going to be, I try and take things to a little another level. When I do things, I try and do it 100%. I try and always do the follow throughs and all that. Hey, have I fumbled? Absolutely. Everybody does. But when I give, I'm at a point where I'm able to give those referrals out. And when they're coming to me, when those people are communicating directly to me, hey, Maddie, this is what I got. I called 10 of these, and this is what this is what I saw. You know, that makes me want to go, hey, I see this person is active, they're hungry, and they're going to go ahead, and I feel confident that I can turn this person over to them, and the job is going to get done. Because let's face it, everybody, nobody's going to do the job as well as you. In your mind, that's just the way it goes, right? But having a solid business partner that you can rely on is super, super powerful. Like Ben said, if you want to go on vacation, what if you're sick and need to be in the hospital? What if you need to stay home with your son for some reason for a day, and you can count on somebody to have your back? You know, and when you are, good morning, Annette, how you doing? Heidi, thank you so much. But when you are that person for somebody, you build up so much social juice with that person, and
Sure.
And you're building that rapport, and you're really taking that relationship right past that like, right past that no, and straight into trust. And at that point, all the doors open up, and that's where you and I are, where we're really close. We trust each other. We give each other counsel. When I'm stuck on something, you're stuck on something, all those things. But be that person that you need to somebody else, and I guarantee you will get much, much further.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's the thing, you did mention, like, let's say you can't handle something, right? Sometimes that customer or client we talk about like providence, right? We talk about like, some people get this idea where like, this is I need to make that money. Sometimes it's about making that relationship strong.
Totally.
You know, it's not about the customer, it's about you with that other person in your industry on your sideline, that now you're building that alliance. And here's the thing and I would say most people. I'm always. Here's my fault. I'm always looking in the best in people, but I think that's okay in life to try to always look in the best. But I'm going to say that most people are going to try to pay you back for that, right? Most people are going to be thankful. Most people are going to be, hey, Matt, thanks for that referral. Thanks. Can I buy you coffee? Can I buy you lunch? Or hey, I'd like to have a pay you back for you. Here's when it comes back, they'll think about you. And always ask, people won't forget the good things that you did for them, And if they didn't, you'll never deal with them again. You know where you stand in that relationship, so that helps you out too, right? So if someone
Absolutely, hey,
you're like, I'm never gonna talk to that guy again. That guy's a knucklehead,
I paid my way out of relationships. Absolutely. What was it, Bronx Tale, where the guy owed the guy money, and the guy's mentor, the guy in the mob, was like, "Hey, you just only had to pay a couple dollars, get that guy out of your life."
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, the money hurts. Nobody likes to waste money, but I've done business with people who haven't delivered, and it's
Sure.
like, you know what, just go ahead and stay. If it only costs me a couple of dollars to find out that you're not who you say you are, so you can go ahead and get out of my life. That's a very inexpensive lesson, in my opinion.
Exactly. And that helps you out, right? Rather than it's like that kid in the movie, that 80s movie. Where's my $2? Where's my $2? I don't remember the 80s movie.
I think that was it. The Bronx Tale I think that was what it was.
No, it was the one. It was an old I forgot the name of
was
the
it?
movie, but I don't. Maybe they made fun of that. But
could be something like that. Yeah.
If
you know the movie, drop it in the comments.
Yeah, those are the people you wanna know where people are at, right? If it's a couple bucks here and there, or sometimes it's maybe $100. It's you're like, okay, great,
Absolutely, and you know what? Do it from the heart. Anything that you do authentically. Don't force anything, because if you're forcing it, people are going to feel that. You know what I mean? They're going to know that you're forcing your way in. You're trying to backdoor them, and you're disingenuous with your actions, because actions speak louder than words. You can say all the words that you want to try and get in, but if you're not showing them and you're not genuine, it's not going to work regardless. Yeah. And that's what I try and always do. I'm always authentic when I do things. I do them the way I want to now. I just, whatever Maddie feels, and Maddie feels is right, I'm going to go with that, because that's authentic to me. So I got my doorbell rang Saturday night, about 9 o'clock. Everybody that knows me knows I'm generally in bed by about 8 o'clock, yeah. And I'm out because I'm up early. And I'm falling asleep on this evening, and my doorbell rings, and somebody's knocking on the door. I have no clue what's going on. My wife's shaking me like, hey, get the gun. Let's make sure Maddie's okay. Let's go downstairs. What's going on? So I go downstairs and open the door, like, hey, Matthew, I got a delivery for you. I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, yeah, it's already paid for. It's a delivery. So I bring it in. I had made a comment on a post earlier in the day about Mother's Day, and it was a friend of mine who we have really grown really tight. And I love you, girl. You give me some great counsel, and I appreciate you. And, I helped her out on some things just because that's me. And I just helped her out. I never asked for or expected anything in return. And when my doorbell rang, it was exactly what I had commented on her Facebook post. She had commented she got this meal from this restaurant. It had some shrimp and it had some elotes, which I love elote. It's Mexican corn.
Oh, man. Good stuff.
You know what I'm saying? And, I made the comment. I'm like, oh, I love that stuff. She's like, come on over. I'm like, hey, I can't. I'm headed off to bed watching a girly movie with Mama for Mother's Day, right? So she wanted to make my Mother's Day for my wife. Oh, I'm going to choke up a little bit. Sorry, I get a little emotional. That's my wife. But she wanted to do something, even not for me, because it was for me, but it was for my wife. Sure. And out of the blue, man, 9 o'clock at night, man, and she had some food delivered to me. That was huge to me. Look at how I'm even now telling the story, how that impacted me. Yeah. If you can impact somebody like that, the rewards are huge, man. But you got to be able to give first.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Those stories. I think what happens is a lot of people like us. We're the type of people that we love to serve. We love to help people out. That's why we're doing this today. We're out there every single day. Maddie and I are helping each other out in our business, in the group, and that's what we love to see. We love to see the positive stories. We love to see people succeed. Yesterday we talked about Jody, right? How the Facebook badges, how those are very important in the group, earning those badges. And she was going through some struggles in her life, and she joined the home business, and she was out there every day posting and just getting burnt out. And I said, it's more than just
posting about your business. I said you have to go out and really try to connect with, and she's out there connecting with people every single day.
Huge every day. What a difference.
She's inspiring people. She's out there having conversations. People are joining her. Now she's doing the Facebook Live. She's out there just having fun with it first. And to us, to Maddie and I, if we can just now she's out. Here's the thing: these relationships, you found that that person reached out to you through social media. That's how powerful social media is. People are listening to you. They're seeing your posts. They're seeing your conversations. They're seeing what you're up to, and when they connect with you in that way, you're doing the right thing. And look, it got Matt emotional.
Totally.
And that's awesome, right? And that's it's awesome because the connections are there, and that's the whole point, is making the connection. That's what it's called, social media, right? It's not called
being social on social media.
Being social on social media. We're just, and there's no other group that's doing what we're doing here. I don't think so.
I've never run across one, and I'm in groups all the time making comments. You know what? I do see a lot of. I will say, I do see a lot of private masterminds. I do see a lot of private groups out there that are doing some of the things that we're doing.
They are.
I don't know if it's on the level, and some of them cost money. Some of them are private, invite only. I know I have my masterminds, and I have one of my great ones. It costs me money to get into, but now that I'm into it, the value that I'm getting out of it is phenomenal. But on a free level, where we're just trying, this is our way of giving back. We're both contributors. And instead of trying to have 50,000 offline conversations with everybody, we figured we would put this on here to help everyone.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So that's what it's all about on this WTF Wednesday. If anything I can ask you on this Wednesday, give something away. Take this step right now and go and be something to somebody else that you needed years ago. So maybe that's going to an influencer that's ahead of you and providing something of value to them, maybe that that you feel is valuable, or you can sneak into their world and start connecting with them that way, or maybe reach back. And there's somebody you see that just started their home-based business or whatever business, and try and go, hey, hey, I see you doing a great job doing this, that, and the other. Just give them a little bit of encouragement. You know what I mean? And that's going to go a long way. So that's my action step. Ben may have another, but reach out and do those things. Be somebody that you wanted to be, that you wish you had back then, I guess is the way to say that. We are live. Hey, everybody. Good morning. It's Maddie and Ben here with BSN Live. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Good morning, Ben.
Good morning, Maddie. How are you doing?
Man, I'm okay. I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit here. I was, as you know, struggling a little bit to get this on Facebook Live, but I am glad that we got it on there. I actually do like the look. I was watching the stream back yesterday for a little bit as I was driving around stoplights, and I was kind of noticing that I really liked the way it showed on Facebook. It was really, instead of having the bars on the top and the bottom here, it really filled the screen, and I really liked the presentation of it better.
Yeah, the Facebook Live feature. Yeah, that's a whole, man. That Facebook, that's the whole thing. They wait and they see what other people are doing, and they just copy it and they put it in their format, and that's what Facebook does. And Facebook now, they just updated the rooms now. So now in the group, you can create a room and go live and have conversations and meet people. And that's a new thing I'm excited for. We're going to be testing that out. But that's why we tell you guys to keep testing everything out. You always have to, we play with the Zoom, we're playing with the Facebook Live. We've tried the Google Hangouts or the Google Live. That didn't work very well. So this is kind of, what we're showing you guys is things that are duplicatable very easily, right? So that way, if someone else wanted to do it, they can do it. They just need to practice and go through the headaches. It's not like you have to buy all the programs and everything. Like, everything's duplicatable. So this is a great way, especially if you're going to run a business, start a group, have a team. You can do the same thing. Like, say 5 years from now, you can go out and coach someone and say, okay, this is how you do it. Boom.
And now with, I think Facebook recognized the difficulties people are having implementing so many different tools. I mean, you and I as marketers, that's the first time I've ever said myself as a marketer, but as somebody that's trying to market products, we are used to using multiple tools and figuring out how to get them to cohesively work together. Zapier is one of those tools that I'm thinking of right off the cuff that connects programs together. But Facebook's really recognized that people have struggled, and they're like, hey, how can we improve that? Yes, we see what's going on. We see what Zoom has done. How do we take that platform, which wasn't really meant for what it's being used for? And how can we take that platform's idea and implement it for our business or for our platform and improve it? And I think they did an amazing job. So,
Yeah.
and then with the groups now, so like Ben said a moment ago, you don't need to spend a ton of money. There are things you're going to need to spend money on, but if you can find the free versions or the hack versions or whatever version to get you in to start doing things on a free level, that's really going to be your best way to practice and start getting out there. Don't try and spend a lot of money up front. Try and stay in the free zones. I know like Zoom has, you're up to 40 minutes free. I mean, you got 40 minutes there. Don't worry about paying the additional. Try and work within that 40 minutes and use that tool wisely for that.
Yeah, a good example is like, I always tell people, like, if you're gonna, let's say for example, you want to get in shape, you want to work out, and people say, I'm gonna go, instead of going and buying a membership, right? You can go out for walks, you can go out for runs, you can go out and do sit-ups and push-ups. Those are all free. You don't have to, obviously as you progress, as you get better, as you get stronger, you're gonna say, you know what, I'm get 50 push-ups a day is getting a little old, right? I'm running miles or I'm doing my walks. Now I need to progress. And now I need to invest in a gym membership, right? Because what happens is a lot of people go out and buy the gym membership and never go. And that's why it's very important for us to start. But at the same time, once you know these tools, what we're teaching you is the I think we're going with the fundamentals, right? I think we're teaching a lot of the groundwork, the foundation to get to that level where now, for example, like you Maddie, you've bought your programs, your software. Because you want to do more. Now you said, oh, I'm comfortable doing these kind of things. I'm comfortable investing in money because
Right.
I that this is something that I want to do versus like just buying a program and think it's going to make you $1 million overnight, right? Because these people get these people get these.
That program for the easy button just doesn't exist, right? I know a lot of these programs, like you said, I mean, they're not. I was talking about one the other day that I was very focused on one of the solutions, but it offered so many different things. And now that I'm exploring it more, I'm figuring out how to use it more. And that's, instead of just trying to look for additional resources, let me go ahead and say it again. Don't look for resources, try and be more resourceful. And that's, I think, the root of what we're talking about, just off the cuff on this conversation.
Yeah, that's, and a lot of programs and a lot of companies out there will sell it that way, right? They sell it that way. You're going to be like, oh, you're going to make, right. They sell it that way. They do. You're like, oh, great. And then you buy the program and you're like, but I got to do work. Like, I got to figure this out. Like, and I always tell people, that's why today's lead gen Thursday. And I always say, hey, you can go out there and get the software. We can go get phone sites. You can go get click funnels. You can get all of that, right? But by the time you start talking to someone, having a conversation, and really working it, how are you going to deal with that? And that's why yesterday I made a post, and we talked. This is lead gen. I made a post about working the comments in the Facebook group, especially like this one, because you're going to get direct messages. When someone gives you a direct message, that's a lead. I mean, that's someone that they're trying to entice you. They're trying to there's formulas out there, and I've studied those formulas where we're working the direct message, where they'll direct message you because for some reason you showed interest in their post. So now they're going to direct message you, right? That's a lead, and I love working those. I love building those conversations up, meaning that I'm going to go ahead because the goal is it's like in that conversation, it's like a game of chicken, right? It's who's gonna hit each other first with their offer. You got to be first. You got to be the first one to hit them up, and that's the secret. And I'm going to tell you, and that's kind of I didn't really go in details on that. But if you hit me with a DM, I'm going to hit you right back. And the secret ninja way is the invitation. Don't say, oh, I have this sale or whatever. Go, hey, you know what? I really appreciate your comment. Come. What can you? You can invite him in. Do the invitation to your business page, your sphere, your Facebook friend. Oh, great, and be courteous and build a relationship. And you'd be surprised that you guys may have a lot in common. Maybe you guys are going through the same struggles or the same wins, and you guys are going to be on the same page. It's very interesting how I've built a lot of great relationships through the DM.
Well, and like you said yesterday in your video, I thought it was on point. People don't expect you to do that. And that's one of the things that when we started connecting, you started seeing how I was responding and using my Bitmoji instead of just some words, or just instead of the GIF, or in combinations, and and having conversations in those in the comments. So that's really where you want to be able to connect and have a little bit of conversation. And something that I need to improve on that you do very, very well is the invite. Hey, in the Buy Sell Network, hey, thanks for joining us. Remember, have you invited your friends yet? I'm trying to do that a little bit more. My We Got Your Back group, just trying to spread that word. But that is something I know I need to work on. Justin, thank you so much for joining us. We got Lorraine out there. Thank you. Jojo, Annette is out there. Thank you guys so much for joining us and showing us a lot of support and your comments. So if you guys have anything to contribute or what you think, leads, Annette saying leads are not the problem. Lead conversation and follow-up is the key.
Yeah.
And she preaches this message all the time, and it's part of our mastermind and the way we've aligned our thinking. It's not about leads, and I always say respondents or leads, but it's about, like you're saying, having that conversation. So don't just try and post and figure everybody's going to run to you, because that's what I thought. I'd post a beautiful home that I had for sale. Everybody in the world's going to run to Maddie and say, hey, Maddie. But it didn't happen. But the more I started getting into comments and responding when people had questions about buying a home, or frustrations about taxes, or not understanding insurance, and I could answer some questions or give them some information, and that's when they started. That's when I could communicate, open up the conversation, and then they would evolve. And like you said, you'll get to learn each other. I use a formula called Ford. We've talked about that in the past. But those are the ways that you can connect with people and drive that conversation. So thank you so much, Annette. I'm with you 100%.
Yeah, and that's another nugget, the follow up. At the end of that, I was talking about that conversation. I specifically told that person they're trying to offer me, and they're trying to show me some program or something like that. That's the affiliate selling, and that's okay. I love looking at what other people are doing, because I like to research, right? I love to see that information, what other people are trying to sell, whatever. That way I can understand what's out there in the market, what people are doing, because you'll see that repeated. And it's always good to research other people's what they're doing. Yeah, obviously, if someone hits me up with, like, I don't care if they're let's go CBD. CBD.
The one, right?
I'm nothing against CBD. It's just
CBD. There you go. That's the other one.
Yeah, CBD, right? Someone hits me with CBD and goes, hey, I like to see how they present it. I like to see how they offer it to me. I like to see how they're showing it to me. Are they just going to throw their affiliate link at me? They're just going to pitch me? Are they just going to tell me, like, oh, this works a million. This is cured. I love to see that and really go, oh, okay, great, And again, I just, hey, that's really great. And then that's awesome that you're doing that. Hey, go up, but after the conversation, let them know that you're going to follow up and have more questions, and just say, hey, I'm going to follow up with you in a couple of days or in a couple of weeks. Doesn't matter. Make it a routine to follow up. Even if you're not going to buy, but hey, I appreciate it. I looked at the information. It's not something for me. And boom, they're going to appreciate that. I guarantee you, they're going to appreciate that. And here's the secret, guys. Here's the nugget. You're playing with the algorithm. So once you're in the DM, you're playing with the algorithm. So if you're in the Facebook group friend, if they're seeing you, when you post, they're going to see your content more. And if you're Facebook friends, they're going to see your content even more. So you're playing with the algorithm.
And that's what you need. You need the algorithm in your favor, because as we know, you get very few. You got 500 friends, 80 people may see your post. You notice that on the engagement. If you're watching your numbers as far as your audience, your reach and impressions, you're going to know that your message unfortunately just doesn't get out to that many people because of that algorithm. So anything that you can do to game that algorithm, to gain that affinity between people, do it, because that's going to help you. I see that stuff every day. I see JoJo stuff every day. You know, I see this information because we've connected, and that algorithm knows that we are friends and that we want to see each other's stuff. So once you start reaching out and you do make those comments in those Facebook groups and those people start seeing you, that's how they're going to start attracting to you. Justin is in this group. Justin's in one of my other groups. And because we've grown connected, he's seen that I'm in the Buy Sell Network. I may have invited him, or he may have seen it. Either way, he's now here, and hopefully he's gaining some great information and providing some great information now that he's in the group. And that's what that enables you to do, that algorithm and getting into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And is it an overnight process? It's not. It takes time. It takes time to create engagement. It takes time to have people comment and follow you. A lot of people like to sit and lurk. Like they just watch you. They want to see what's going on. They're like, okay, what's this all about, right? And then they start to see, oh, this is what they're doing, right? This is what they see, and finally, they'll start engaging with you. They start resharing your post. They'll start doing it. It wasn't like an overnight thing. People think like give it a week and go, oh, it just doesn't work.
No, it's a long, consistent battle, and Justin's putting out there. Just from the conversation a moment ago, salespeople love sales. I'm with them, man. I love to be pitched. I love to hear that stuff. So, my wife says I'm a little bit of a sucker sometimes because, hey, I'm a salesman. You know, I'm empathetic to other salespeople selling their products. So, and a lot of times I feel like coaching them up, even though I have no interest in their products. That's awesome. You know, it reminds me of that. What was it, Wolf of Wall Street, where he's on the phone, or trying to tell them how to close, or one of those shows. I can't remember what it was. So, and then the last thing Justin just said was friend people. So when you do have that connection, friend them, because they're going to investigate you. That's what people do these days. Stalk you, make sure you're somebody that you want to connect with. I know I do that a lot more these days than I used to.
Sure.
But once you friend them, you're going to get that connection, and then you just keep the conversation flowing. Once you see them in other comments, keep it going. That way, the algorithm doesn't let it fall off either.
Absolutely. And let them know that you're going to friend them if it's okay. I was asking permission. Permission, here's the thing. We call it permission selling. So permission selling is having a conversation. So if I say, hey, can I be friends with, don't just automatically friend people. If I'm going to friend someone,
Guilty of that.
Message, or I'm going to comment them and say, hey, can I add you to my friends list? You're asking permission. You're starting the ball rolling. That way, when you're ready to have a conversation about what you're doing, what you're selling, whatever's going on, hey, can I tell you about, they're more likely going to say yes, because remember the rule of yes, yes, yes? You get them to say yes a couple times.
What is it, micro agreements?
Exactly. So it's that little yes, yes, yes. So start with that. Don't just friend them, because I'm telling you this right now. I get a lot of friend requests, and that's okay. But here's the thing. I love to get friend requests from people that really are going to connect with me. I'm not looking for 1,000 friends. I'm looking for great people. I'm looking for people like Matt. I'm looking for people like Jody. I'm looking for people like Lauren. I want to be friends with the best people out there, so my sphere of influence is strong. And that way, when I'm out there posting, when I'm out there engaging, when I'm out there, I have a network of people, because this is the whole point of the group, is the network around you. Right. And where you're going to build yourself. Guess where you're going to have when you surround yourself with great people, other people will be attracted to that, and you're going to get more influence. You're going to be more influential, and people are going to listen to what you say when you are selling to get more leads. Right? That's kind of the idea. If you have 5,000 friends and no one's engaging with you,
what's the point of having the 5,000 friends and not doing anything for you? And that's kind of like goes back to the Facebook groups. You know, why have the huge groups? You know, a little bit about lead generation when it comes to the groups. I just want to tie it into the theme today, because as you're doing that, you want to have these groups, and maybe think of it as a lead generator, and not that, you know, you're creating your group or driving this together, but you've done a great job. It's more of a funnel. You're making people aware of what this group is doing. Then you're able to get them into the group and introduce them more make them aware of the group, yourself, other things, products, and then they can fall into consideration where they're going to consider those products. And that's where the sales starts happening, when you go into top of funnel and you start funneling down. And, you know, my thing is, I want to get in I want people to friend me. I want to interact with people. So my funnel is just getting out there, and we call it a funnel just because that's the action and it's easy to explain. But it's people, I'm exposing myself to them. People are liking my personality, not liking it. Those that are liking it are coming in. I'm introducing them to what I do, then what I do for a living, what I do for fun, what I do for business. And that's how that all just snowballs.
Yeah. How are you doing?
Good. How you doing? I had to flip back between screens to see if we were live or not, and we are. What's going on this week?
Been busy. We've had a busy week, you and I, huh?
Absolutely.
A lot going on.
Personally, in the group, otherwise, professionally, all that good stuff.
It's rolling. I think the people that are interested in learning how to build groups, how to build cultures in groups, how to build teams in groups. I think this is, maybe we'll give out some great information, and I'll give you some of the challenges and some of the pros and cons, and
wow, some of the drama
goes on, right? And I'll probably start with, like, in the beginning. And me and Matt, we talk about his ideas, because we're building him a group, and we want to give him ideas, and I'll give him some, like, things that I've gone through. So here's the thing we do when you first start a group. You don't have to. Here's the thing with a lot of groups out there that I see, that people are starting groups that no one wants to join, right? So if you say, okay, we're going to go again, if you are I don't want to be a negative towards a brand or a product, but if it's like this particular thing, like I don't know specifically, like, I don't know, Bitcoin. What is this Bitcoin?
Bitcoin. Absolutely.
And you named the group "Make $1 Million with Bitcoin," or it seems very, like, too good to be true kind of group, or looks kind of like
200. We'll give you 2,000.
Exactly. And then you're always pitching in the group, and everything's in there about Bitcoin, right? I mean, it's great to have those groups, or maybe it is or not, I don't know, but I don't really see any success with those groups, because it becomes a spam group. I think people get burnt out. They build groups, and they build a group, and maybe they build a group with 50. They invite 50 or 75 of their friends, and no one's joining, and all these people are in there, and now they're just like in the spam box, right? Because every single day it's Bitcoin. Nothing. I'm not trying to say anything negative, or whatever it is. It could be keto,
whatever the service is. I got you.
right? So you don't really want to.
Sorry, you were lagging a little bit, but I was just going to step in there saying, it sounds to me like that's like more something that should be on a page versus a group. Sure. And explain that a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So if you build a business page, and obviously there's rules about business pages, especially if you're going to do advertisement, but you can build a page on whatever you want, really.
Totally.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter, but I think they're just really strict on paid advertising, a certain kind of, like, if it's deals or how do you say, income producing things out there. Right?
They're very much flagging those, what is it? The offers, if you're making unsubstantiated claims,
Sure.
then they start coming after you. But that you definitely want to make sure you watch special code words that of events that are happening. You want to make sure you avoid those things. But if the group is where common interests are, that's how I look at it. Facebook groups are somewhere where you find multiple people with the same interests, all kind of contributing more community. You know what I mean? When you're talking about a moment ago, those people that are making these groups that are all about one product, yes, if you're all excited about that product, I can see that. But if it's just pitching a product, that's more something that belongs on a page. That way you can say, here, this is my page. This is what my product is all about. Different videos, information, and all that. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. 100% agree on that.